Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Malone, and I'm the academic director of Vaganza, the university's new music ensemble. Earlier today, we had a concert of new music, featuring some students' music and guest composer as well. Today's two concerts are about how Western composers are influenced by Eastern culture and Eastern music. The previous event, which we had in November, that was about how Eastern composers have been influenced by Western culture and Western music. Today's concert is actually a reciprocation of this, kind of through the looking glass. So we have all active living Western composers whose music is very clearly influenced by the East. And those composers are Jeffrey Poole, Roger Marsh, who's written a brand new piece for Vaganza. This is a world premiere. A piece by Judith Weir, and a piece by Carl Stone.
Once, Suchan of Czech was presented with a live fish. Suchan told his fish keeper to keep it in the pond. But the keeper cooked the fish and told Suchan, "When I first let it go, it was still sickly, but then it came to life and swam away."
One of the most important things is that the students' own works here at the University of Manchester, they're getting their pieces played alongside professional composers. So audiences not only will hear repertoire pieces, probably repertoire pieces they've never heard before, but also emerging composers.
There are so many musicians around that I can really explore quite contrasting groups of instruments within one piece. And Kylum is, as an example, I wouldn't have written for Crotals if I hadn't been in a place like Manchester where that kind of thing is available. It's a very high-pitched percussion instrument, quite piercing, and it was really interesting to work with that really high piercing timbre and contrast it to kind of big beefy things like a piano and a cello. It's called Kylum, and it's written for piano, crotals, cello and violin. It's supposed to kind of explore a range of textures that it kind of floats through, a range of some different sound worlds, I guess is the best way to put it.
Manchester University Music Society is one of the largest societies in the union. We have over 500 members, and what we do for Vaganza essentially is all of the kind of basic groundwork and constructing everything. So we organise rehearsals, we book rooms, we find the players, we make the programmes and print them, make the posters. So we're kind of doing all of the little bits and bobs that add together to make a concert happen. Concert days are always an exciting venture, and we have quite a few people on hand. So we have our concert managers, so they're involved with organising the movement of instruments on stage, setting everything up, which is quite a complex process even within the concert itself. Vaganza is such a complex thing, and we're dealing with music that is so new. So I mean, a lot of the pieces that are being performed in some cases have only been written in the last 2 or 3 months. We have to figure out how each piece works, and we do that in collaboration with the music department. So the music department plays quite a big role in Vaganza, and we work in collaboration with them. That was what I set out to do my dissertation on. Was students really are finding the boundaries of their instruments, how to reach them and how to even go beyond them in many cases. Vaganza definitely has the scope for a much larger technical improvement than certain other concerts, and that obviously has repercussions for everything else. Once they go back and play Mozart and Beethoven, then all the standard works kind of slot in different ways.
There's quite a lot of crossover between the way we think about kind of composing popular music and composing kind of concert hall music. So I think it's something we don't really think about enough. So I thought I'd kind of highlight it by kind of focusing on this drum machine as like a starting point. The piece is called Analog, and it's a setting of the opening paragraph from the 808 drum machine user manual. I like to start a lot of my work from thinking about the kind of relationships within the musical practice. So with this piece, I'm thinking a lot about the role of conductor. He takes on the role of someone who would be using this drum machine. So the communication between the conductor and the ensemble is really important.
My piece is called Et Nomen Nostrum, which means and our name, and it's all about kind of this idea that in time everything that we've written will just be forgotten. And it's kind of really bleak and dark, and it's written for string quintet and 8-part choir, but now we've kind of doubled the forces of the choir, so hopefully it should be a massive din. I run a choir called Latin Name TBC that does new choral music, and I wrote this piece for a concert that we did in November, and then it turned out a lot darker than I thought it would have done.
Vaganza is a really great opportunity for young composers in the department to get our works played in a really great atmosphere by fantastic musicians, and it's really good of the department to kind of help us out with the organisation and just like planning and publicising all the events. So it's fantastic.
Well, tonight is the first time that my pieces have been like in an actual concert where you have to pay to be at the concert, which is really cool.
My favourite thing about it is hearing all of the new music. So it's pieces that have never been heard before. I think we're probably doing at least 3, if not up to 5 premieres of works, at least public premieres anyway. And these pieces have never been heard before, so it's really exciting to be right at the front of that concert. You're hearing a work that no one has ever experienced before, and you are in that room of people that's experiencing something for the first time. And I think that's quite exciting.